Alright, welcome to the latest concert of consoles, and I guess the first of the new year. This week we've got the Venomous Sphinx, at least 2 of the 3. And making the horribly, I guess, dad joke thing here, we're playing a game with the most venomously pink character from Nintendo, Kirby. But we're not doing a traditional Kirby, we're doing Dream Course, which is like weird mini golfish.
Awesome.
And this is going to determine our order. Who goes first and who goes second. So I believe that means you guys are. This is all the handicaps. But yeah, so.
That's cool.
What I always do is I try to remember the first time I've seen a band, and that's how I begin it. Which originally I was thinking of a Rogue Bar show, but thankfully I figured out how to. It was a ska punk night.
Ah.
February 28th at Pub Rock of 2013. Was the first time I saw you guys. And I just saw you were celebrating an anniversary, so it was right after, a little after you just joined the Pinks.
Damn, that's a long time. 2013.
Originally, I was like, I remember a Rogue Bar show. That was the first time I think I introduced myself to. And I was like, that's probably it. But then I was like, Facebook does have some technology. So I did some searching and was like, alright, keywords. And found everything circles back to Craven Warhead.
It does, yeah.
At least in Phoenix. So that's how long I've been watching you guys, guys.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember that. Yeah. No, I remember that Rogue show. I remember like talking to you or whatever. Did we
Yeah,
play
so I was completely nervous to talk to you. I was like,
Were you?
yes.
Why?
Me being me. But yeah, the Rogue Bar show is the first one that stands out in my brain.
God, why? Why do we do that? The Rogue.
I think
R.I.P.
maybe like Brolo played or something.
Probably.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's like one of their like corporate
Yeah.
work.
That
theme
video
party.
popped up on my YouTube when we
one?
played the Rogue, like
Was that
a couple days ago.
the Valentine's? No, not the Valentine's Day. Oh god.
The first time?
I'm scarred from that show. Of JR in an adult diaper. I will never unsee
Oh, you
that.
know what? I heard about that one. I didn't go to that one though. I saw like pictures.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
What happened in that one?
JR was Cupid, and he
Oh,
literally
that's
just
right.
wore
Yeah,
an adult
I
diaper.
think I missed that one too. But I saw the picture.
Yeah.
He also got
Top of the
fucking
bar.
hammered, I remember. I remember Roger playing liaison to him to get him to the hotel next door just to not drink and drive.
Yeah.
And that he almost hit Manny with the bottle, I believe, also.
Oh, man.
That he just chucked random. But yeah, so it was way back. Contradiction was on that show.
Oh, man, yeah.
Oh, it's me.
Oh.
Again,
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna find out immediately.
Oh, we're supposed to get it in that hole?
So you're supposed to take down the enemies, and then the last enemy becomes the hole.
Oh.
And we can also knock in each other.
Okay.
Okay.
Still don't know how to...
Don't worry, I don't remember exactly how to play this either, so we're on the same page with that.
I don't know what's happening.
What's happening?
Oh,
I'm getting
Yeah.
close to a-hole.
close.
That's what she said. Yeah.
I didn't say that's a punk. That's just a punk thing. That's just the dude you're standing next to at a show.
There's a lot of those.
But so, how old is the Pinks? Let's go back before I apparently started watching you. I know your nickname kind of came out of My Dolls, right?
My dolls?
Is that why you're Drea doll?
Yeah. Who did you ask?
No,
Who are you talking to?
I just put it together.
Pinks are, I think, probably like
Well,
less than 10, more than 7.
Well, I just-
because you outed us now.
I just turned 7 in the band because Facebook
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah.
But-
We're 7 years old.
Yeah, we're 7. It counts when I started.
Alright. Damn it. We're already doing so well, and this is like the simplest stuff.
No,
But-
I think we're 9. Technically 9.
Oh, what,
So Gabby's been
2011?
in the band
7 years.
7 years. So I would say about 9 years it's been a band.
And then
Give or take.
it's had its own ups and downs and lineup changes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go listen to the Sound Sisters podcast for the whole story.
Yeah, yeah.
Just go there.
Yeah.
that's its own thing. But you guys have, even if I just go to present day, you guys have a bunch on your plate now. On top of the podcast that I mentioned, which you guys, I don't know how's the schedule? How does that schedule work? How do you guys figure out?
We'll figure it out next week. We actually have a meeting about that because we're even more busy this upcoming year. So.
And then you guys,
yeah.
I mean, what, Punk Rock Bowling was 2 years ago now?
Yeah, 2017.
And then even one of the things that has changed, aside from the members, and fuck, I should be paying attention to what I'm doing on there. But this is like the simplest thing, and we're struggling. God. Oh, is that you guys been going on the road more last, now, what, year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
What fun trials and tribulations have come from that? Like,
well, I almost died.
Which?
Oh, yeah, that one time.
Right after Punk Rock Bowling, yeah. That was kind of scary.
Of this year?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Like, it was just like...
After LA.
We went to Punk Rock Bowling. We came home for a day, literally. Drove home for a day. And then the next day, got in the van and drove out to LA. Played that show. And then the next day... I was like deathly sick, like dying, like I don't know what happened. But these guys imagine me from LA all the way to Vegas trying to play the next show and like puking the entire way in the back of the van, like curled up on the last bench or whatever. And like, unbeknownst to me, these guys are like looking up where urgent care is in Vegas, and you know, we pull up. I'm dead asleep. We pull up, and they're like, "Hey, we're at urgent care. You can go in, or you cannot. Like, it's up to you." And so I went in, and like, I was like, "I should probably go in. I'm here." And they pretty much were like, "Yeah, you have stomach flu. You're contagious."
And you guys were all in one van together.
All in one van, me puking, like. But yeah, I felt like I was. It felt like death. Like
That sounds like a flu.
Driving from LA to Vegas.
That was so punk rock. It was like a gas station in the middle of nowhere. And she's just fucking puking on the front door of like the gas station. So our tour manager Ashley goes inside and gets me. She's like, "Dude, Drea's puking." And I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" Like, she's fucking puking. Like, but yeah, all I saw was like bright
these
green.
families walking by, and I'm in this fucking AM/PM trash can in the front.
Yeah,
just like
puking.
punk rocking all over it. Like,
oh, and you lost your shoe too.
I lost a shoe.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. So that's probably been like one of the hardest, quote, hard times on the road. Other than that, it hasn't been like too crazy. Like,
Yeah, we all like each other, so it's.
And you guys got to play Gilman Street, I saw.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
It was
cool.
I was like, everyone's usually excited. The first word out of your mouth is interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool. History. We did it.
Yeah.
But the people who run it, it's like kids. Well, it's volunteers, but like, these kids like just don't. I don't know.
It's
like, it's interesting.
It's a venue ran by children.
Oh my god.
Like legit.
It's like the trunk space.
Like,
It's volunteer based, but they're all like teenagers, so we're fucking old. Like so
No, we're not old.
imagine
None of us are old here.
walking in and you're like
trying to be professional. And...
yeah, like and it was.
I'm off.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But it was cool to play there. Just for the nostalgia reasons.
Strangely enough, you did it before Authority Zero, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, I considered that too. I was like, we're playing Gilman before Authority Zero.
I guess technically they were assigned artists when they went on the road, huh?
Yeah.
So somehow they're now not assigned artists and they can play there.
Yeah.
We're
I
think the idea is we're supposed to ramp off this into the...
Is it? I have no idea what
I'm
I'm just
pushing buttons.
I'm just trying to push them off.
Let's do full last. Nope.
Are we supposed to be in that?
Yeah, we have to get in there.
Oh,
Boom. Oh, I don't get to come back?
what is that thing with a broom, like sweeping?
It's just an enemy.
Okay.
That's a Mexican.
Alright. Let's see if we can... So, we can do...
Your family.
Yeah, it's my family.
Let's try this. Let's try... Oh no. So you have a bounce shot and you have a
okay.
normal shot. And I was thinking about that because otherwise you're gonna go out of bounds. But if I meter the power right, we will get where I need to go. I think.
Wow.
I chose the best game. But yeah.
No, that Gilman Show Street.
That's you.
Oh, yeah.
So we like went and did some touristy stuff or whatever, and then what is that guitar shop?
Broken Guitars. It's owned by Billy
Broken
Joe.
Guitars.
Was that?
Who's it owned
I
by?
saw a picture.
Billy
of
Joe
that.
Armstrong.
Owned by that guy.
Greedy dude.
Green Day, yeah.
We went to his Mike Dern's restaurant. To,
Yeah, but we were like hanging out outside that guitar shop, and the fucking like adolescents drive by in their van, and
I did see a picture.
they're all like hitting their like the van window, like trying to get our attentions, and we're like, who the fuck is that? And then last second I realized who it was. I was like, it's a fucking adolescent. And so they
Alright.
unbeknownst to us, the fucking ex-drummer for Rancid works at this guitar shop, which we didn't realize, and we found out later. We were like, you know who that was? So that's why like they showed up, because like Brad from Adolescence and F Minus and I guess they're friends, whatever. Like, and so they showed up, and it was cool because they were playing Crash Fest that night.
Yeah.
And they were like, you should come through the show. We'll sneak you in. We'll sneak you in. And so we were like, all right. So we like ripped through our set at Gilman.
Oh, you just played and left.
Well, we stuck till the end, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah. They had us play second to
Oh wait,
last.
is it like Phoenix where they have to be done by a certain time because of it being all ages or anything?
It was like a Sunday.
Yeah.
It was just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was people there, but it's like, I don't know.
Clearly a very enthusiastic crowd that night.
The guy
That
was
show
running the door. He was drinking bleach, like outside, and like just obnoxious teenager.
Yeah,
I got his
you know?
attention.
Like, stupid punk rock shit you do when you're like 15.
you know.
Like, imagine that and that being in charge in Gilman.
Yeah, so that's what it was.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it was.
How is it still open?
It's run by volunteers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and remember that kid that started putting shit on stage?
Yeah.
He's
What?
some guy that worked there.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Just like setting up for a play?
And like,
or-
No.
not like it was like random shit, like those roadblock
Construction
like
Construction
cinder blocks?
things.
Or no?
like those triangle
like-
things.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah?
like you
Yeah.
put one of those on stage. And, like,
multiple of them.
I can put like a chair. You put a broom.
And he was jumping off the stage with the broom.
Yeah, so he was doing some like Harry Potter shit, like jumping off with the broom, like. But
Not like an air guitar like way?
No, like literally grabbing it and then like jumping off the stage with it.
What the hell?
Then eventually someone like grabbed all the stuff off the stage because like we couldn't move. We were stuck in these little.
it was Ashley, our tour manager.
Yeah.
Like I finally like on the mic, I was like, Ashley, can you get this shit off the stage? Like, I think he was trying to be funny and.
Oh, it's almost.
Nah, dude, come on.
This ends when one of us gets in, right?
There's the hole.
Yeah.
You gotta go in.
I think that's how. There.
There you go.
84 years later.
You wanna try the next one?
Yeah, I'll try.
Also proving my point of concentrating on conversating
Yeah.
while playing. It says 4 for some reason. Was that 4 times and I just didn't feel like 4 times? Alright, let's see. And then that means there's guys over there. But that's cool. What other... I was gonna say, what other highlights of the road already from finally kind of... I don't want to say finally, that's not the right word, but going out more outside of Arizona.
Watch your back, man. Remember,
What, on this game, or what are you talking about?
no,
With
when
my
we played that
words.
skate show, remember this guy followed us in the car, and he got out, and he was fucking, like, crazy. And he was, like walking in circles around our van, and, like, luckily that other guy was there, and, like, he left.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. like being, women on the road. You just gotta like be a little more aware of your surroundings.
Because like literally, this guy was
what
like,
do I do? Just hit it?
Yeah.
Press buttons.
So if you just hit A,
It's okay. A.
Alright,
hit A will trigger it on whatever you're angling at.
And then what?
And if you want to adjust up or down on,
Oh, okay, got it.
and Nintendo's backwards, so A and B are different from others.
So B is select.
And then what?
Click A again,
Yeah.
and then click
Oh,
it. Yeah,
got
so
it.
it like does something.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, that's
You're in the
water?
Yes. Don't worry, you won't die though.
Oh, that's water.
And then also if you hit, I don't even know what that one is. If you hit up, you can make it bounce,
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
which then makes that meter move further.
Oh, look at that.
I'm in the water.
It's a swim party.
It's a water trap.
It's a, Alright.
Interesting.
Wow.
And then your adventures in, well actually we should hit on, what are your feelings? I didn't realize Squid Hat's
Shit.
done.
Yeah, so we actually found out about that when when I died, when we got there in Vegas,
Yeah.
he told us. Well, he told them. I was like,
Yeah, she was in the
guest
room.
like,
We're
That-
partying
that he
with
was
his wife.
finished.
that,
He was-
yeah, he wasn't gonna do it again or do it anymore.
That he kind of went out on his own terms, like it wasn't financial issues
Right,
or
yeah.
anything.
They're
Yeah,
just
no,
done
he
with
was just
it.
kind of ready to.
Unlike
move on.
Felony, which just disappeared.
I've heard those stories.
I've not heard
Yeah, I've
those
heard
stories,
some
but
interesting
Yeah.
stories about that.
Yeah.
I just remember having a conversation
Oh,
with
shit.
Ron when it was going about how time-consuming and money-consuming it was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that doesn't sound like you really got to want to do this then, to
Yes.
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a local label that seems to have disappeared too recently, or at least not doing anything anymore. No affiliation.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
done, I think.
Otherwise, they're just not active.
Yeah.
Bill kind of
I
took
think it might be
over.
done, yeah.
Like,
A lot of money, man.
I think
But, yeah,
so there's 80/20, who I didn't realize was fucking 10 years old until, was it last year? I met him through Captain Squeegee. And then we have Slope. And then, actually, who else do we have locally? Is that it?
Fever Records.
Oh wait, and we have oh god, why can't I remember their name?
Come on.
But at least the darts were Nicole, and
Oh yeah.
they were
that's-
doing a
that's
U.S.
done
branch
too.
of it.
That's done too.
She closed that, I think, in like August. We've actually been working with her, kinda.
Okay.
Kinda, yeah.
Back.
She's on the back end.
So personal.
Yeah, she's been awesome. I'll like go to her and ask her like legal advice, and then she rents her van out to us. So that's how we've
Wait,
been
really?
able to. Yeah,
Oh,
that's how we've been able to like tour so much.
I know she's also a judge.
Yeah. Don't fuck with her.
Yeah, don't fuck with Nicole.
Found that out when I think it was Love Me Not still.
Yeah.
And Decker, it was a Decker release show or something. And he's like, "Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that on stage."
Oh shit!
And it was just like,
You hit
what?
it too hard.
Found out that I was doing the reverse. When I lived in Gilbert, she's a. Oh, I don't know what's supposed to be public anyway, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not.
There's articles about it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Google that shit if you
Yeah.
want to know about
Yeah.
Nicole from the Love Me Not in the Dark.
But
Yeah.
Google that
but
shit.
was going the opposite direction in my travels. That's what I learned through conversation. I'm like, hey, I know that area. Oh, you're going the other way. You're going, like, with traffic. Oops.
Oh, thanks, Joe. God damn it!
This is like bad pool.
Water.
This is like drunk pool, but not the drunk.
Look at me. I am drunk. I'm drunk in this pool. Look at me.
On candy. Drunk on candy. Right? Those are candy dreams.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. And then you guys were on Slope, but not anymore. You're now on a new label.
Yeah, we're on a new label.
And you have a new music video coming.
They have a lot coming out.
In 2 weeks?
Is it? Yeah.
I know you've been
I don't
teasing
know-
it for
I don't know
like.
what day we're on.
Feels like you've been teasing for like 2 months.
Dude.
In your mind, it probably has been like daily.
It's been like a year. It's been a crazy year.
Yeah.
But we're on Die Laughing Records now, which is a label based out of the Bay. Not LA, the
Was
Bay.
that related to your trip to Gilman?
Yeah. The label guy saw us. We played a show with his band in Hayward, California. And
It's a random mess.
it's a random ass town. But his band played, and he runs the label. He saw us. He liked us, and he was like, "Let's fucking work together."
Yeah.
So
Now
that was
we're
kind
working
of
with
crazy.
them.
Like,
That's just how it came
just
about.
imagine touring and somebody seeing you and liking your band.
I mean, I hope
Is
that
that
happens.
nuts? Isn't that nuts?
Crazy, man.
But yeah, they've been pretty.
Here, I'm sleeping on the side.
You were worried about getting points. I don't know. We're losing. It's 10-3. He's kicking our butts.
Oh no, if that's called kicking your butts, that's not running away with it. Not at all. No, I know all about kind of things just falling into place. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
And I'm happy you guys have been happier. At least it looks like it on stage.
I know, we
Yeah,
smile more. It's
it's-
crazy.
Well, you also just like play around more.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bounce to your set more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's nice that you say that because I feel like you can tell too. Like if you go back to like old YouTube videos and watch like the older lineup.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize at first, but Angela kind of pointed it out to me. She was like, you could tell you guys were just kind of there. And I'm like, what?
Going through the motions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Playing
a
a
video like recently popped up on my timeline. I watched it and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I look into it, like, I'm trying, like, I don't know what everybody else is doing. Like, but yeah, you could tell, like. And then, yeah, just now, I guess, yeah, there's more. I
Like,
don't
yeah,
know.
you guys will.
There's more reason. I just
You'll
feel
play
like,
around and you'll still
like-
fuck it up, but you'll just like laugh it off and be like, oh, whatever, let's keep fucking doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely been
Yeah.
different. So,
Or I'll try like go over to her and like just fucking like do something like make her laugh or whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
Or I try to do my little
Or she'll like
working
start
out.
dancing with her. Like I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Just fucking with her.
yeah.
Which is good, because that's been my advice. Even in a recent conversation, I try to avoid people's drama. But I was just like, fucking, if you're not happy and you're telling me it sounds like a fucking job, then you might be doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either you gotta make the changes to make it a better thing for you, if you want that to continue on, or look to something else that brings you joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't think the conversation I injected that into made its point, though. And that's why I avoid trying to participate in people's drama.
No drama, man.
There's a lot of it. God. And that is not something I want to name names. But there's a lot of it around what we call a punk scene. Oh my
There
god.
is, but honestly, touring has made me appreciate our fucking music scene
Yeah.
so much more.
It's more...
Yeah.
In what ways? Let's go there.
Yeah.
Our scene is just we're fucking rad compared to
Yeah.
other scenes. I'm sorry, but we are like
We're better than the Gilman Street crowd.
dude, hands down,
Like
just
all of California,
like just the support that we have here, like the
Every
band
day of the
supporting
week.
each other,
Yeah.
like how fucking like easier it is to like book shows
Yeah.
here as opposed to like outside of California, and just like the commodity
Mhm.
and friendships that are here. Honestly,
Yeah.
we have one of the better fucking
So-
punk scenes.
so AC Punk scene, you're fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard the same from Mike from Burgundy Jerk. He moved here from... If I fuck this up, he'll bug me. Whatever. But I think it was like Pennsylvania. And he was just like, he moved here and he was like, wait. And he started talking to people. He'd go out and it was, I think, Ian, who now is not playing with me, but he was like, dude, that sounds cool. We should start your band up again. And he found people were a lot more supportive here
Yep.
than he ever encountered over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, people were encouraging me to do shit.
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't get that. I was lucky if I got people at the show
Yeah.
that were applauding.
Yeah.
And so I've heard that, and when Ek and his dad was doing anything, I remember Vic and them talking about why they would leave LA to play here. It's just like more people came out for us.
Yeah.
We get drowned out over there.
Yeah, that too.
We just have
I think we know.
we have a really good scene here. We do.
You think it is a volume thing though in California? Just the amount of people trying to do it, kind of.
It's a different attitude.
Yeah. Yes and no. Like, we just played that backyard show with the virus.
Yeah.
And I was like telling them, I was like, I don't really want to play bars anymore in LA. Like, if we can do fucking backyard shows
Yeah,
like that,
that
like,
was off the
that was
hook.
rad.
It's more fun.
Yeah, and like people like in that backyard scene were just kind of way more supportive and like, not to say that like ghost pillow.
It's telling you to shut up.
Okay, all right.
It's telling
As
you
your
to
PR rep,
telling
I
you to-
advise you not to
Yeah.
answer that question.
No,
Next
telling you to
question.
plug your other
Next
podcast,
question.
What was the question?
Grave Sisters.
Oh, about the ghost. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Grave Sisters. Yeah.
I've been learning how to promote. Just how to randomly
Plug
plug
it in
stuff.
there.
Yeah. It's brought to you by Great Sisters.
Yeah, Grave Sisters like scares the shit out of me. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's scary.
Then why?
Because
I
why?
do it right,
Because
but
we're curious about
Yeah.
the unknown.
I want to know, Joe.
The weird
Be
videos.
in the know, Joe.
What was it? The Go Betty Go video that you posted.
Oh,
for-
dude, that was
You
fucking
see that?
creepy.
Yeah.
And they're all like, "You guys should come out to our cabin." I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm never going
After they
there."
showed you that.
Yeah, like we should, so yeah, we go hang out there,
Excuse me.
like just relax. It's like, dude, I have no way I'm relaxing. And
They shouldn't have shown you that. They should have been like, you should come out, and then after you're there,
Wait,
show
look at
you.
this.
yeah, right. Yeah, fuck, man.
I still
It's
think
like a fucking
we
creepy
should
hand.
still do it.
Like a different cabin, like not that one. Nope.
That was probably some of the better
Oh, I
like
wouldn't
evidence
say.
we've seen.
like
I know
that
you
that
wouldn't.
hospital fucking
I
place
know
we
what I
stayed
do.
at in Vegas.
Dude, so we went like we played Vegas or whatever, and
Oh,
we stayed with
no.
somebody in the Yugen, and he's like walking us through his house, like giving us a tour or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like looking around, and I noticed like these wheelchair ramps, like I don't know why, I was like paying attention to like
Yeah.
whatever, and so
It's a
finally
cool
I was
house.
like, dude, what's up with this house? Like, what's up with all the ramps? And he's like, oh yeah, this was a hospice. At one point. And we just look at each other and we're like, fuck.
That's
Did
cool.
anyone die here?
Yeah.
Well, and that brings up some of them you've made from them coming here, but all the friends that you guys have made. What are some of your favorite? That's not the favorites, I suppose, but some of the cool people that you've met, you know, that now are even helping you out on the road.
God, I don't
There's
know.
a lot.
Because I
A
know
lot of people have just kinda
Go to
like-
Betty Go
Yeah.
with them, and then was it? Oh, now I'm
Every
spacing
state,
on
man,
things.
there's just
Yeah, every state, like, we've been lucky to, like, just have some
there's
people.
crash at their place.
Yeah. San Diego.
Like Stacy D and all them from
Yeah.
Back Up.
And, like, San Diego's the shit. Like, Mike and Sarah from Punks for Change. They
Yeah.
they throw shows out there, but what they'll do is, like, they'll do benefits. So, like, each show, like, they'll do, like, school supplies, or they'll do, like, a food drive for animals. But, they're fucking rad as shit. Like, honestly, compared, like, I would say Phoenix and then San Diego. Like,
Yeah.
San Diego
Goes
has
off the hook.
has a really good scene, too.
It's like, wait,
Like-
the western settings are out of San Diego. Also, what are the Bomb Pops?
Yeah, I think they're
Ish.
from
I think they are, yeah. I think they all live in LA, but, yeah.
They were at some point in San Diego,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Which I was seeing on a flyer that they've been around a while, and I was just like, wait, I only found them so many years ago when they played with Singing Utters at Last Exit.
Yeah, they
And I was
were.
just like, oh, they've been
Oh,
playing
really?
a while with a lot of the
Yeah.
fat bands.
Yeah, they were on another label before Fat, Red Scare, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just like brother company, the way that they all seem to talk. But yeah, that's right, because they were on that 15th anniversary comp for Red Scare.
Yeah.
I got an interesting story about them.
If it's as long as you're not afraid of it coming back to haunt you, you can say it here.
I won't name names, but somebody in the Venom. We played with Bomb Pops at Yucca I think Less Than Jake. What was that?
The Rebel Riot.
Yeah. So we played that, right? And they played that.
Yes.
And, was that the chair?
Yes. I did not do anything that I should take ownership for.
Fucking bitch.
It would be no.
Either the chair or the studio next.
No. So they played. I won't name names, but somebody in the band, the Venomous Pinks, was kind of drunk, and one of the Bomb Pops. I won't say which one, but they were in the whiskey lounge, and one of our pinks got very brave, inebriated, had some liquid courage in her. Went up to this Bomb Pop and, without missing a beat, said, "I think we should make out."
Anyway.
Said Bomb Pop was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so that was like our first
And since then,
encounter
yeah.
with Bomb Pops.
Yeah, that was where I first saw a couple of bands. It's also that night. But apparently I missed some of the action.
Or not action, but yeah.
Lack of
action that night.
And that was the first night I saw Russian Girlfriends. I saw actually Western settings.
Yeah.
Who else was the rest local?
Gimmick, us.
Lightspeed
Go.
Lightspeed Go.
I think.
Rico, bring it back. Lightspeed Go.
Are they not dead?
Come
Because
on.
they haven't played in a while.
I don't know. I think
I think they'll have babies. Except
they're
families.
I seen them perform as part of, or random members of them perform as the cover band at Yucca for the various events.
Yeah.
Oh, I should play. Come on. Yes? No? That sucks. I'm right on the...
Like nighttime now?
Yeah, there's a switch that I think I kept hitting. Also, our levels are okay, right?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
I think this is the loudest we've kept the TV. That's why I'm like, huh. Yeah, cool.
I checked it.
I'm like, I can actually hear the music of the game. It's nice. Oh, we're never gonna finish this.
It's like the song that never ends.
You know, and like what, Jack Grissom? You guys, has he been helping at all with anything, or just getting on the shows that they play? That's a look that looks like there's stories, and probably not all public stories.
He's cool.
He's got a very interesting book.
He's cool.
That was an interesting book to listen to the audio version of.
Dude. I previewed a couple of the first pages and I was like, fuck, this fucked up.
We're talking about the same one where he's a demon in a human body? Yeah, okay. Yeah. That is one of the most fucked up books I think I've read of punk icons.
Okay, the part I read was with, I think, like, he had, like, put the dog he was in a bag or something, and, like,
yeah.
he set it on fire or whatever.
Yeah, he was in a, well,
And then
if all those stories are true, man.
Yeah. Well, that was, like, it was like a preview, so that's what, I think, one of the first things in the book is he says that.
I had someone tell me
And I was like,
that he does
fuck.
like to embellish a little bit. I was like, okay, but man,
Jack Christian,
those are some
of the shit
stories.
He posts online, like, some of his fucking updates, I'm like, is this real? Or like, is he fucking around? I don't know.
Yes,
But
That's the beauty of it. You don't know.
yeah.
Oh,
He's,
God, why
he's
can't
cool though. He's always been nice to me.
a name is escaping my brain. It was at the United X-Bomb show, and it wasn't Chip, but a member of that band was the one who was like, that book, don't take all of it seriously. And I'm like, that's a
Okay.
little better to feel after everything that's in that fucking book.
Yeah. No, he's cool. I think we're gonna be working with him in like 2 weeks. I think he might take our picture.
With Jack.
That's right, because he
Maybe
does
he has badass
photography.
photography.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's that's the only Instagram account I know for him.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll be working with him in a few weeks. With out in LA.
Actually, his on stage stuff is also just.
It's pretty funny though.
Jack's spoken word, yeah.
Oh god, what was it 2 tours ago that he had his, where he said he had his daughter's friend doing merch? And
Yeah.
the shit he was saying. I'm like, oh my
I
god.
think it was 2 years ago, whatever. Yeah, the daughter's friend was doing it. Yeah. She's not doing merch anymore. but
No,
it's
he
like
he also I think said that at the rock show.
Yeah. It's somebody else. That guy's cool too.
But I've also gotten used to a lot of punk fans like to talk shit in general, whether it's true or not, on a stage.
Yeah.
Just to get a reaction. Yeah.
I've had that conversation about Mark with, I think it was Matt from Gutter Rock, because I've been informed a member of FOL apparently took offense to Guttermouth making fun of their favorite football team, and I'm like, what? Like, Mark makes fun of everything.
Yeah.
So that's what spawned this conversation. We're just like, no, Mark just talks shit to talk shit. Like,
No, fuck that guy. He pushes girls. Like, I've seen.
Has he
videos.
Has he recently?
Has he recently?
But like, there's no new video.
I don't know. Like, don't be douche. Especially, and you fucking Ben Weasel. Quit fucking hitting girls at shows.
Is Ben still doing it?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Ben
Just don't.
doesn't come to
do it.
Phoenix. He talks shit about Phoenix, so I don't know.
I don't know. Just don't do it.
I mean, oh god, I've seen Mark actually talk shit about women, and then the next time defend women, and I'm like, what the fuck? That was also when I put together, I'm like, oh, he's just up there talking shit of whatever's getting a rise out of people right now.
I don't know what I did. I didn't do shit.
So I think you have to hit the people to get the hole.
Yeah, so the remaining member is the hole. So, you have to take them out. I apparently have an ability I still haven't used, and I have no idea how to activate it. So let's hit a button. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Oh shit. Fucking tornado.
Also, those turn on and off those spinning plates. The switches.
Tight.
We should totally do the hardest set of courses after this.
Are you?
yeah.
Hey, are you coming to the show on Thursday?
With Jerk and
Yeah.
who else? Miles to Nowhere.
Yeah. FOL.
Yes.
You should come. It's free. I'll get you in.
You
I'll put you on the guest list.
sure?
I know a guy that knows a guy. Sorry. Alright, what am I doing?
So you press the A button.
Just press a button!
That reminds me, I got hit up Donnie
Yeah,
about
yeah.
getting in for free tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Creepy Don's birthday today?
Yes, it is.
I got a tomato.
Well, at least the show is. I think his birthday was like
Turned him on
Thursday
again,
or
sorry.
something. I feel like I've had
Oh.
4.
Are you going to bed? Franks and Dean's is playing
Yep.
tomorrow. Yeah.
I got
Fuck,
to
we should probably go.
You were once label mates.
I'm like stoked for them. They just got on that really big.
Yeah, that booking agent.
That booking agent, like legit. Atomic.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's on there now.
All the big bands. Yeah.
Because I think that's Playboy Man Baby's on them now too.
Really?
And
That's cool.
and who else? I think Oakley Dokley and
Okay.
all them. So this is gonna screw me up. We're gonna watch all the spinning plates
Do it.
No.
Oh!
and moving.
Ah.
Yeah, I know a couple people are now on there, and good for them.
Yeah.
Anytime a band can grow, and well, in general, you have to leave the city to grow.
That's right.
You guys gotta leave once in a while. I had to learn that the hard way. We're learning that the hard way.
Yeah.
People don't know who we are, you know. But we're getting there.
There's only a certain
Fuck.
amount of growth you can gain in one city,
Right.
and I get some bands aren't out there to do that. They're just having fun playing, and that's
Yeah.
what they'll do.
That's fine.
But if you're actually having
That's
aspirations, you gotta fucking get out of town and
Just kinda
show some other people and go through
Yeah.
the pains, the tribulations, which
network.
that too.
Yeah.
Because I know it's not always the most positive thing either to be on the road.
You gotta have, honestly, you gotta have the right people with you too. That makes a big difference.
Yes. Well,
Alright, hold on. Let me get this in the hole.
let's not distract her.
Hold on!
Concentrate right now.
Yeah, put this in the hole. Alright. I'll try. Let
Put you in the hole.
me see. Hey.
That's for Grave Sisters.
Good
Good
one.
one.
Good one.
Ah!
I mean, I don't know if I want to name the band, but talking to a member of them about the road, he was actually kind of depressed by the time he was playing Phoenix and telling me, he's just like, we've had so many times with this tour that we've been just having to argue to get money from venues and he's like, it starts to wear you down. But they also
have the right people to haggle the money out. I mean, we haven't had any problems with that. Maybe we'd have problems with like the full amount that was
promised
or guaranteed, but that was lack of.
Now I gotta skip a turn because I have birds.
But I mean, we've been pretty lucky to have the right team.
But on the flip side, his band at least, they have core audiences that show up in certain places, and he's really happy for that.
You're in the hole? No.
What band was that?
In the Whale.
Oh, In the Well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was they're coming back here in the next week and a half, I think. Both are really cool dudes, and actually one of them I think has family here. But,
Oh, it's me.
yeah.
Like, where are we going? Oh, it's me.
But then, also you guys have been involved with the Sidewalk Project.
Yeah. Did you go out?
Yes.
I was so sick. Like,
I went there, then drove here.
Hmm.
And I forget who that episode was with. I'm now trying to remember 3 weeks ago. It really does feel like I've had 4 Mondays over the last 2 weeks because of
I don't know what day it is.
work schedule. Basically, work Monday, off Tuesday, Wednesday, then work Thursday,
Yeah, that was my.
then off 2 days, and then repeat. And I'm like, when you messaged me on Thursday, I was like,
yeah.
I think it's Monday again, and it's fucking Thursday. Cool. It's also not the most relaxing I've discovered to have vacations in the middle of work weeks.
Yeah, it's stupid.
No. Close.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like pulled into like Sidewalk Project, like.
And then was it punks and paintbrushes or something in paintbrushes?
Punk rock and paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool too.
Which you guys were at that exhibit. That's also why I was thinking about Crazy Taxi after seeing your picture with Noodles.
Oh yeah.
I was like, Offspring. That might be funny. And it's an easy game. Apparently, it's an easier game to play than this.
Just mute it, man.
Yeah. Just turn off the... Oh, fuck, what did I do? Just turn off the audio, the music track. I think that's any options.
Yeah.
But that's part of that game. If it's not Ixnay on the Umbre.
Well, are you
It's
willing
not.
to get flagged?
I mean, I don't make any money
I
off
don't know
these
why
yet
this
so
is
far
so-
anyway, so...
Fuck.
But if it ever got to that point, then they'd make money.
Dude, the first thing Noodles said to Gabby was, "Cool hair."
Yeah.
So that was more of a caption of a real quote
Yeah.
when you posted it than it was...
Yeah, I was like, that's cool, man. I'm like, thanks.
And you looked at him, and you guys like just looked at each other and started laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, how cute.
Because we're wearing like the same outfit too, like jacket and like the same shoes. I was like, dude.
Did you ask him why there was only one local on their last show at Marquee?
No.
And it was still $60?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
They can do whatever they want. It's
Apparently.
The Offspring.
Are they on Nitro
Dude.
still? Or is Nitro even have a
I
label
don't
anymore?
know.
I'm not sure.
I saw they're playing that bike week in Scottsdale.
Wait, are they?
Yeah, they're playing fucking bike week.
That might be
What?
the cheapest way to see them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like, oh, sweet, not Social D now, so it's awesome.
Oh, God.
Bike week. So.
It could be the bands that I've seen around Social D, but I find them boring.
Dude, last time they played way better.
And actually,
Yeah.
were you there? The one with the Reverend Horn Heat? I run into you.
At Bite Week?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave us a ride home.
Yes.
From
We
Scottsdale.
discussed.
Many years ago.
Yeah. At
Oh,
least.
Back in my liquor days.
At least within the last 5 years, because we
Yeah, that
discussed someone I don't want to bring up myself on that car ride.
What? I don't even know.
Kind of related to the downfall of Gaby Kaos.
Oh.
Alright.
That was.
As your PR rep, I advise you not to answer that question.
Yeah, fair
Next
enough.
question.
That's
Answering
fine.
his own question.
Yeah.
But I remember watching Reverend Report Heat before Social D, and I'm like, boy, you're really boring now. And this dude's, I think, 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
So I feel like just watching them with the right artists might make them a little better to watch Social D.
I thought they played faster this last time around. Was it Flogging Molly or?
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't.
Flogging
That
Molly.
one I skipped.
Yeah, so that one they were fucking.
Oh.
That was actually like they were the tempo of the songs they recorded. So.
We're supposed to get it in the hole, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes, we are. This is why I'm single.
Aw.
No, it's not.
All right.
Aw.
Self-deprecating
Anyways,
growth. Paintbrushes.
On that note, yeah, punk rock and paintbrushes.
Do you guys do any art of your own outside of the music?
Photography.
Different forms. I mean.
Like anything that you were like, can we like display this at this event or a future?
I haven't had time to
Focus on it.
do
I mean,
it.
what? You're getting married, right?
Someday.
Yeah. Right. You got a house.
Yeah.
My life events are getting crossed.
Got engaged, but we haven't like.
Okay, I did have the right thing.
decided
Okay.
Yeah, so we haven't like.
Put any hard date down.
Yeah, I mean we've been so busy with touring and focusing on the band.
And you're still doing a day job with on top of touring.
Yeah. So trying to manage. Gotta fund it somehow.
Oh, I can certainly relate to this. Still putting 40 weeks in, or 40 weeks. 40 weeks.
40 weeks.
40 hours a week in.
Yeah.
And then still doing extracurricular stuff because you want to do the
Exactly.
extracurricular stuff. I
So,
completely relate to that.
Busy.
There. Finally. It's not even about winning anymore. I just wanted to move on to the next level. We have one more on this one.
All right.
Dude,
Let's do
look at our
this.
score.
Well, now we know how to play.
Yes.
You didn't tell us how to play the
Damn.
fucking game. We have to figure it out.
We can go watch the tutorials next. Let's just go with that. That'll work. Boom.
It's like now I know you gotta hit the people. I was trying to avoid the people.
Oh.
At the beginning.
Yeah, you won't get the hole without killing all those people.
Got it. Good to
Good
know.
to know.
Good to know.
That's
Joe.
strangely related, right? When you kill people, you put them in a hole, so then killing people eventually shows a hole.
Huh. That's cute.
Now I'm like trying to think. Conversation. This is why I should have actually put all that stuff into a little note thing. Of points to hit. How'd the podcast come on? Did you guys just be like, fuck it, I got a recording studio, let's go.
Yeah, I mean it's great. You know, like I said, we're gonna meet up soon to figure out this year schedule with our touring, and I mean we're booked out till August, so
You ever do or think about doing it on the road? Bring a laptop,
we
a mic,
have,
and...
but it's very hard as a musician that you're playing and trying to do that. It's like
Intruder
it's
Green
not-
does it, and I know
Well-
the quality varies.
yeah,
But
so that's true. I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah.
I've listened to
gotta
one done
find
out of his
gear.
tour van.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Traveling is hard on your body, like,
Oh yeah, that's
because we're,
Oh.
you know, we're in a van all day, we're
You're
driving.
not you're
you
sleeping in the
gotta,
van, I assume.
Like this last run
Yeah.
we did in October, at one point it was just the three of us, so we're loading
Yeah.
our own gear, merch, plus playing, plus driving. Just takes a lot out of your body. But it'd be cool to like do
Yeah.
podcast episodes if we can.
Yeah.
We just gotta figure it out.
Like,
Is it being grouped into seasons or how is it?
at this point, it's just whatever. You know?
See, that's the best.
You know, like,
Just roll with it.
you know, I think we want to do more video stuff too. So, but
It's all time and editing.
yeah, that too. And then I have to do it, so it's when I have the time.
Well, just
and-
show Drea how it works.
Yeah.
She can learn, and then
Yeah,
she'll be
word
your.
of the day.
Then she'll get a credit on her resume saying producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The podcast just kind of is like.
See, that is the chair.
Like,
I now know what sound you're talking about.
yeah, it sounded like you're ripping one out. Is that you?
Not in an enclosed room, no. I have at least that manner.
Yeah. No, podcast just kind of like fell on our laps because our band wasn't really doing anything at the time. And you gotta like be creative. Like when you're creative, you just gotta keep being creative. And
And now you're on. You have I now remember one of the bullet points that I should have written down. But also, you guys are now going to the UK.
yeah,
Fuck yeah.
Rebellion Fest.
Rebellion. Which is I'm scared. I'm nervous to be honest.
Are you renting equipment or trying to travel with your equipment?
We have to rent, probably backline back there.
Yeah.
Just take our guitars, but we're still trying to figure that out.
Let's see. When is that? That's.
That's August.
Oh, so you have time.
Yeah, so it's. But, you know. The good thing is that our.
It'll be here sooner than you think is the problem.
The only good thing is Cass, our drummer, she's been there multiple times, so she'll
Let's do Krakow.
crack.
Crack it up.
Alright. You still beat me.
That should be cool
And
though.
And then you have other things in the works I've been tipped off to. But
You've been tipped off? Who's talking to
Who's
you?
tipping off,
Yeah.
man?
are you doing more traveling around Europe at some point? Or was that something else?
The fuck?
That was something else, I think. If I get what you're putting down. At one point we were talking to another record label.
Dirty Water? Fuck, I finally remembered it.
No, not Dirty Water. Bomb City Rappers. And I think they're going to Europe and they were talking about taking us to
Yeah.
so
So that was a
That'd be cool.
different story.
it's a little bit. So I don't know if like Chip Hanna knew about Rebellion. Did it?
I hope not.
I didn't tell.
You hope not?
Who'd you tell?
I don't talk to anybody.
Who'd you tell?
She's become a homebody, is what she's saying.
Dude, I barely leave my house. I barely left for this. I'm kidding.
Man.
I leave for work and then shows. Well, it's like you're on the road all the time now, so it's like being home is.
It's
fucking
actually a
nice.
luxury.
Yeah.
Hidden-
Oh, it's my turn.
Also to have
But
an actual
being
bed.
home
Yeah.
is you want to be out on the road.
Yeah,
But when you're
so
on the
it's-
road, you're like,
it's-
"Fuck, I want out of bed." Like,
Yeah, like. Yeah, we had like a month off, and we're like.
we had like a month off, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
I wanna go out.
I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right now."
The was it tour off the tour depression or whatever? Just going from the up to the down
Yeah.
It's real.
because you miss
Yeah.
being out there.
Seeing new things.
It's liberating, right?
It
It's
is.
more of a.
I love being.
You also probably lose track of what day it is, but as long as you're
yeah,
where,
you do.
It's-
as long as you're where you need to be. This is what I tell everyone. For me,
Mhm.
as long as you're where you need to be for that night,
That's
it
where
doesn't
the tour
matter.
managers come in. because everyone in the van, it's like I have no idea what day it is, what time
What
it
time
is,
is it?
where I'm waking
Where
up
are we?
in, what city.
It's a time warp.
is it? Do you usually plan time for touristy stuff on since you've been going out on the road?
I try to. That way we're just not like driving.
You don't want
Like,
to
let's
pull.
go here. Let's go here.
You don't want
Like,
to pull
Arizona.
the Mike Sparrow route of his first Authority tour, where it was back to back to back to back.
Oh,
Poor
that's
Mike.
brutal.
Like I was looking at those photos, and you just see the
Uh-huh.
shadows like
Yeah.
increasing. You're
Triple
like,
bags.
clearly this is a pretty intense tour.
yeah.
And turned out that they just didn't have any time scheduled between.
Time off.
Anything.
Yeah. No, gotta take time off.
I think it was like
Yeah.
19 days in a row that
Oh,
they just kept
fuck.
playing. and moving around Europe. Just playing.
That's brutal.
You gotta take time. Reset.
Ah, damn things. Oh, also you can take points, by the way.
Oh.
So those stars, I just took one from you
What the fuck?
guys. So not only do you get a star when you kill an enemy, you can take them. Also, if you get the power on this one, it'll keep you put. Well,
Whoa, what the fuck?
What the hell?
Did I just
Yeah.
become a porcupine?
yes.
What the fuck? Is that what it is?
But it'll make you stationary for other than spinning tiles.
Oh, is that what's fucking everything up? So fucking
Everything's moving,
spinning
yes.
in that weird fucking crackhead cloud.
Krakow, apparently. I figured that's appropriate for a punk podcast. Something with Krakow. Oh no. Oh good. I feel like I actually get hurt from hitting you guys. Favorite punk bands? Or icons, role models?
Favorite distillers? Runaways, Joan Jett, X.
I know about the Joan Jett.
X,
And it actually-
yeah, Germ, Sphere, Newer, Bad Cop. I'm really into pairs right now. Like, I'm really into pairs. They should be into us. Like, we should pair guys. Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
Okay, okay,
Oh,
dude.
God.
Okay, Andrea.
Man,
I didn't mean it like that. They should really be into us.
they should enjoy the Venomous Pink's music.
No.
Fuck,
I just meant we should tour. That'd be rad, because they're
I
awesome.
feel like they have. This is a recent conversation. I feel like they have a very strong, small fan base. Like they're people that, and I'm included, but like everyone that loves Pairs is really loud about it, and they love it. But then, like you go out to the shows, and they're like, "There's 25 of us. There should be more people here.
Yeah.
They're
Why is there
different.
not more people here?" Go out on a Sunday.
They're badass. I don't know. Like, just
Good guys.
musically. Like,
Yes, they are. They are actually personal friends.
Oh, what the fuck? How'd you... It's like one shot.
One shot!
Actually,
stay
my
at your
story.
house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, how I met them was I watched them play a backyard in Vegas, Punk Rock Bowling 2015. It was right near them. They're a band that fucking. They started and just went on the road immediately. Like, they didn't even play around their city. They just fucking went on the road. And they got noticed immediately. But yeah, I met them. So they played the backyard barbecue. And then the rest of the time they played. That's where Brian proposed to his now wife on stage, Punk Rock Bowling. But every time I would come across this Brian or Zach, they'd hug me. And I'm like, this is fucking cool. I don't usually invite bands to stay with me, but
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, if you're ever in Phoenix, you're welcome to stay.
Yeah.
And so I extended that invite, and that has stayed permanently whenever they're in town,
Yeah.
Cool.
which I assume this year, because they haven't been here in no. Fuck, and he has Band-Aid Brigade, which is not coming here. With Brian Wallstrom and Zach, I think. They're playing San Diego. They're playing nearby. If I want to take the time to drive over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Paris is touring more because we got.
And they were going overseas a little bit, I know.
Aren't they coming out with an album this year?
That's
Yeah,
probably why they're touring.
Yeah.
That has a killer lineup this.
I
Does
never,
Bad
I
Cop-
never watched that video you sent me of Michael.
Oh,
like,
you just saw the thumbnail.
I just I'm like, what is
Of
he
him
doing?
announcing the 2020 releases, yeah. And he's very lethargic and
Yeah.
like unenthused.
It's funny.
Including his own band has an album coming out. But like, what? They have, the new Suicide Machines, Bad Cop, Bomb
Yeah.
Pops, Days and Days are now on there.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting pairs. I'm still forgetting people. Western Addiction, I think, has another new one this year. Yeah, you're right. Pairs.
Yeah.
Anyone who has an album really should be coming through here soon.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to where and when that might be.
What are your favorite punk bands? I
Mine's a little lighter. It's not that hardcore.
Descendants, huh?
Light FM.
They're one of them, but I'm more Alkaline Trio. The Men Singers. I've been listening to them a lot.
It's like Alkaline Trio's in a story on that last episode
Souls. Yeah, right. I'm more of like the pop punk.
Oh, and I have picked up on that because you took pictures at Angel and Airwaves.
Yeah.
And you're like Big Tom, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not going, but that makes sense.
After too many Green Day tattoos, nobody knows about.
Green Day is the band I will defend.
Yeah, they were my first.
Oh.
Smile. What happens if you hit that cob?
Of the controversial
Yeah,
punk / pop punk bands that people like to talk shit about,
Dude, they knew.
I will defend Green Day.
They know how to work the business, man.
And they still know how to be in the conversation and come somewhat be one of us. Like even recently, them covering the Denny's stuff.
Like they're,
Yeah.
You know.
And then finding out I found out that the Long Shot show was in the state of Valley Bar on purpose because Billy Joe wanted to play a small venue.
Yeah, he always doing that with all his
It wasn't
side projects.
Yeah. And that's
So-
the main goal of his side projects most
Yeah,
is
they're
to basically
fucking
be unsigned, be able to play Gilman and play
Mhm.
small venues and not play arenas. Even though the people, as I learned that night, the people that show up to those shows are
Crazy.
man,
What?
annoying.
What happened?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, the amount of cell phones.
Oh, like everyone just like.
Like, I'm like, I do this, but is this like karma? You know? Like, holy fuck. And like the one in front of me, every song, it was phone up,
Just looking
picture,
at the phone.
and it wasn't any other member. It was always Billy Joe.
Of course. Who cares
And then
about the other
phone
guys?
down, I'm like, okay. And the next song, same thing. And like the third, I was like, at first, I'm like, this is fucking annoying. And then like by the fourth time, I started just laughing.
Dude,
It's just
yeah.
funny.
His son's
Dude,
band.
that sounds like
Yeah.
your purgatory. Like you do it, but then you get tortured
Yeah.
by that.
Yeah.
Like,
And like the song in Billy Joe was just like, enjoy the show, put down your phones,
yeah.
and no one cared.
Yeah.
Nobody put their phones down, even though he was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
put them away."
And I've watched some of his social media where someone was like, I know you hate cell phones. He's like, I don't hate cell phones. I just believe you should enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to put it up for like a song, take pictures and put it down, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But it's when you're holding up your cell phone for his entire performance, he's like, I don't like that. Like, enjoy the moment.
I can agree with that.
I actually, as long as I
Be
can
in the
get a
moment.
good phone picture, I will put it down once I have it.
Yeah, you're pretty good.
Because I also want to enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not fun trying to just always be taking pictures. And in that vein, it's actually nice, though a little stressful, having the 3-song rule at certain venues.
Oh.
It's just like, well, fuck, I'm done. Cool. I don't care. I'm gonna now just watch them play.
Yeah.
It forces it. Except recently I learned a lesson. So I asked for stage access at the last 30 show to take pictures of the drummer of Black Moonshine at their request, and I'm like, I could probably do that. And then I realized I took a bunch more pictures because I just kept taking pictures, and it's taking me so much longer to go through.
Oh.
I'm like, fuck, why did I don't usually have this many pictures go through. Why is it, oh, crap.
Because you were up there. And
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I can take pictures of... It's still not always the best angles up there. But if you can get people turning around at the right time, then it still can give a different angle. That's kind of neat. But yeah, I kind of appreciate having like a 3-song cabinet. Like, alright, whatever, cool. I'm gonna just watch my band now. Or watch a band I've never heard of, or... Oh god.
Aw, man.
And you got there during or later, the culture abuse, that fucking... That threw me for a loop, because he stared directly at me.
Yeah, so what happened with
After
that?
one
Like,
song, he's like,
Kick
alright, you guys
everybody
get the
out.
fuck out of here. Let them be able to take pictures too. And I'm like, wait, what? And I look up thinking he's joking, and he's staring at me, yeah, get the fuck out.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Wait, who did that to you?
the singer Culture Abuse.
No, it was the Men
three.
Singers headline.
Yeah.
And there was actually a lot of photographers there, but the
Yeah.
spot
Oh, no,
was like this big. Like,
The girl next to me who was taking photos looked at me like, I'm like, I think he's being serious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was a unique experience, and I like Culture Abuse's music, and I'm just like, well, that was kind of, I don't know what I feel about this.
like, okay. That's cool.
But I thought he was joking around like many punk bands do, and then he's like staring at me. I'm like, oh.
Gave you the death stare, and you're
Like,
oh
go.
shit. Okay.
And he let the kid with the camcorder stay.
I think he was part of the crew, wasn't he? Like,
Or he
some shit.
might have hit up the band, you know.
Like, just a hipster kid with a
The
hand
old
recorder.
school- old school
Yeah.
camera. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever been kicked out of a photo pit. He's like, I guess that's right. It's technically Menzinger's approved the photo pass, so they don't necessarily have to take pictures of anyone before them.
Yeah.
Usually you do. Yeah, Culture Abuse is actually one that I got one of those classic 3-inch that Epitaph did,
I want to do those.
which was it is literally plastic, just
Oh, like
with
The
grooves.
little
Yeah.
tiny ones.
It's
Like a
like-
tiny record.
Yeah,
That's what I wanted for it.
Didn't Bad Religion do that?
yeah, that was the Epitaph.
Yeah.
Except it was a random thing. That's why I have Culture Abuse one, because I was like, and they were $10, so I only bought 2. But luckily I got one Bad Religion one, and then I got the Culture Abuse one. And then it was like 2 other Epitaph singles. And yeah, it is literally just like hard plastic that just happens to have the grooves for vinyl.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's cool, I'm getting a cool, like, oh no, it's not a real vinyl.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it, I don't know, can a 3-inch thin vinyl stay together? Were they worried about warping having bigger effects on it? Yeah, they did it for Record Store Day, and then they even did a like 3-inch vinyl player, mini
Yeah,
player.
I know. I wanted that so bad.
It was like what, $80 or something.
Hit him.
But that's a fun photo story of mine. And then I saw you after it. I'm like, yeah, we got kicked out. You're like, oh, I just got here.
Yeah. Just got here, man. Sorry.
So you didn't even experience the eye stare.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, when there's eye contact, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not taking this the right way.
Oh, well.
Or maybe he's not taking it the right way. Menzingers are fun. Whoop. This is not going to work, is it? What if I do this? Let's try
Are we
this.
supposed to be in that?
Well, there's enemies in there, so that means we have to get in there.
Yeah.
Alright, 1. Oh, and I have a power up now. And now you have a power up.
Oh.
How do you use those powers? What am I doing? What is it?
So that's another avenue. What is a band that you haven't taken photos of that you want to take photos of?
Green Day.
You're like, no thoughts, just like...
Well, I've shot Alkaline Trio before, so Green Day would definitely be like in a stadium setting. That'd be fucking cool.
Am I incorrect in assuming a lot of people submit for Green Day?
Probably is, but I would think it's mainly just big magazine media that probably even get considered.
So I need to
Yeah.
hit up...
Yeah, like the big shots.
Actually, that gives me ideas for how to try to get a photo faster.
Yeah.
Oh, crack pulling. They at least
Are you-
reply.
Wait, didn't you get kicked out by in the group or whatever?
Oh, no, I'm back in there. That's
They
right.
let you back in?
For my Aaron McClue interview.
Yes!
Fuck.
For just sharing it.
Yeah, that's a.
It's like,
Yeah.
huh. Yeah, we'll find out how the Sterns are when they play next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's every show, Joe.
Oh, you're every shit.
That is still strangely the article that keeps showing up in the most viewed
Yeah.
of
On your
mine.
website?
Like,
Yeah.
people keep looking it up.
Hell yeah.
And when I look at, I think, one of the top liked photos on the hashtag of every shoujo is that, too,
Yeah.
from her account.
Wow.
No bad
Yeah,
press.
controversial interview. Oh, trust me, even the friends that I know, maybe mutual friends, like, do you know Beth? Like, various people were, like, expressed their disdain also about her. And I'm like, she hit me up. I actually did talk to a couple people, and they're like, dude, you should do it. I'm like, alright. So I did it.
Yeah. She hit you up?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a case of actual networking working,
Yeah.
because the year that she got kicked out, I gave her my card or sticker, and then like 2 or 3 months later she hit me up. She's like looking to do an interview, and I'm like, all right.
Okay.
The infamous interview that got every shoujo kicked
Yeah,
out of the BYU
for like
BYO group
for like a month.
on Facebook.
Dude, that's so funny.
I just remember seeing your post. You're like, well, I got kicked out.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
What?
weird. and
But
you
you're
know,
back
the
in.
only admin is I think Sean Stern. So you're like, so clearly someone only he already knew.
Oh, you're back in there.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
And it came at a time that I'm like, I got months till punk rock bowling. I don't need this anyways as a tool until.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not worried. I'm gonna give it a little time for it to go its own way, and then apply again.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to do more interviews. Well, that's probably where this kind of came out of, but it's time consuming to transcribe them. There is still a Playboy Man Baby interview that the MP3 is sitting in a folder. That I was like, I'm going to transcribe this, and then I never had the time to do it.
Send it in, man. There's a bunch of people will do that.
And actually, thanks to this and turning it into an audio podcast, I probably could just edit it and just put the audio up. That's just a bit. Because the other thing was, we did it outside the trunk space, and random people. It was a release show, but it was like 2 bands before they were on, and the random people would keep walking up saying hi, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
wait, and we'll continue talking, and then so I would need to edit out that stuff. But it goes back to all these projects take time to fucking do. Even though up front, the time it took to produce the content is very quickly, simple. Like, it's easy to take the photos, and then to go through them all is the fun part. 4 hours later. Do I want to jump? I don't even know how long we've been going. Hour and a half? What time is it?
Time warp in here.
Oh, okay.
What else do you want to know, Joe?
Yeah.
Well, back to the Joan Jett thing.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of common traits in the way you perform and sound to Joan Jett. Clearly a big influence on you.
Yeah, for sure.
But I forget what, or if I ever mentioned that to you. But there was a point where I just started listening to Joan Jett, and I'm like, wait, there's a lot of similarities here.
Yeah, I mean, she's a big influence on me.
And you catch her whenever she comes through.
She's been playing a lot of, like...
Weird one.
Yeah.
Wait, did she come through with... No, who was it? I was going to say Cheap Trick, but it wasn't Cheap
Heart?
Trick.
No, she came through with her.
Yeah.
That's the last time I saw her.
At the pavilion, the Desert Sky Pavilion.
Dude, did you go watch her on Fremont at Punk Rock Bowling or whatever?
No, that overlapped with something.
That was interesting.
Why? Why?
Because it's Fremont, right? So it's
Yes.
all kinds of, like, people, like, with their families and shit, and, like...
That's also why I like punk rock bowling, because half the people there are there just for the holiday weekend, and they're like, oh my god, what am I looking at? Why did we book the Nugget this weekend?
Right. But, so imagine that, trying to watch Joan Jett, and, like, people getting pissed, and that you're, like, getting pushed into them.
Oh,
You
so
know?
like Biker...
Like,
Well, maybe not Biker Week. Reverend Horton Heat shows, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Actually, oh my god, I've seen some crazy stories at Reverend Horton Heat. and Coffin Cats.
Yeah.
In Tucson. It wasn't up in Phoenix. But both shows, their Phoenix shows and their, I've noticed people, there's like the, I almost want to say they're my age, but I feel I want to distinguish them separate of me. But like like 40-something, 30-somethings that are just like, there, I'm watching my favorite band. Why the fuck are you touching me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're at a, do you know the band you're listening to?
Yeah. So, kind of imagine that, but like on Fremont and like soccer moms everywhere trying to watch Joan Jett. Yeah.
I moshed to her at Warped Tour.
Oh, yeah.
God, what was that, 2008? 9? That was also... And that's still me in my 20s. But I knew who she was and was like, cool. But it was like, parents? Yes. And kids going, what the fuck? Who am I watching? What do I do? And I'm like, you do what you normally do. Like, there was already like a distinguishing age divide.
Yeah, it's kind of a trip.
But I'm trying to think who else. But yeah, my Reverend Horton Heat story. It happened when they played Crescent with the Coffin Cats, where there were people like, why the fuck are you touching me? And stuff. I'm like, it's a circle pit. You're at a, what the fuck's going on? But then I went and watched them down at the Rialto like a week or two later because their tours didn't go directly or circled. And down there, kids were moshing, so awesome. They have a younger crowd, finding Reverend Horton Heat. But this kid gets pushed into this dude, and the dude's going pissed off, so security escorts him out. And then I just see this lady start to beat the shit out of this really drunk woman that was on the barricade. And because security was dealing with that stupid shit, like, even their tour manager of Reverend Horton Heat was poking their head out. Like, it was noticeable.
Damn.
And then, like, 2 songs later, just the woman that was being the crap is there, like, came back. And the drunk woman, I don't know what happened to.
Interesting.
But that show was people. This is down to Tucson. This didn't happen to Crescent.
At Crescent.
One night out.
I mean, Crescent.
One night out.
Might as well go out.
Gotta get in a fight. Gotta get out.
Crescent doesn't usually have the security for punk shows, is what I've learned.
Damn.
Like, it took them 2 songs to fix the divider for the chat show. The kids fucking just lifted it up and tossed it on stage.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like, I know the laws and the rules and no one's doing anything. I mean, cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was the security guard that was, like, backstage that came out and then radioed someone, and it took them, like, 2 songs to be like, we need to get the barricade back. Like, no one noticed that worked the venue. I'm like, they don't book a lot of punk there when they do. Like, even the Bad Religion show, which is some of the same security. But I remember watching, they had, like, 2 or 3 people on the barricade, and it apparently doesn't get rowdy enough for Dave Haas.
Dude.
But it got rowdy enough that they're like calling in like all the security dudes to the barricade.
I'm flying.
Like they had no plans on that.
I got some power to fly and I just went right into it.
And then I remember also, so that was day 3 of my knee being hurt. So I went to the side and I watched security deal with people in the Manzanay standing on tables and stuff and just getting flipped off, and I'm like, right, this place doesn't book a lot of this. Like,
Oh, because that was at Van Buren.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. I think we were on tour. We missed that one.
Oh yeah.
oh man, and that week I did on whatever I did to my knee. That was the week that reminded me of how warm the underground is.
When you lose like 10 pounds standing in there.
Well, and I hadn't been in there.
Yeah.
That is probably, no, that is the warmest venue in Phoenix.
Yeah.
It is. It's gnarly down there.
That was Massive Shooters, so kudos to those dudes for keeping everything
God.
on
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
and performing down there.
Damn.
Those guys did not break character.
Nope.
They got added to our show in Portland. And they came up to us, not like, just not in their regular voices or anything. I don't know, maybe that is their voice.
It's not.
But, did not break character.
With the weird
like,
accent
just the way
of
talking
Brooklyn.
to us, they were like, "Oh, you guys sound real good tonight." I'm like, "Thank you. You can take your mask off and we can go hang out." Like, chill.
I know who Purple is, but that's only
I know
because
who Purple
Yeah.
is too.
I've seen her.
In the van.
There's a story here.
That's your PR rep. I advise you not to answer that question.
But I saw.
It's a PR rep,
Yeah,
right? I advise you not to,
yeah.
to tell that story.
Yeah. Next.
a
Let's go.
No,
to the
very
next.
good basis.
She was walking by, and I was like, oh, we should talk to her. We're in the van, we're getting ready to leave. We're like, you guys, let's talk to her, say hi, bye, whatever. Okay. But like, I went to the door is broke, and so I went to like try to open it, and it was like boom, 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 like that, and like it scared the shit out of her.
And we're all just like
It
staring
scared
at
the
her.
shit out of her, and us we were just like staring at her through the van. And she was like, looked at us like, hell no, and kept walking.
Yeah.
That's the.
And I'm pretty sure we were being really loud in the van too. So like.
Yeah. But, like me trying to open it like scared the shit out of her. You should have seen the face.
Yeah, I was like,
The
peering
face.
on
She
the
was
light.
like, ah, fuck.
So.
I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, drive away. We can't say hi now.
And then we couldn't back up because the Masked Intruder's van was behind us. So we were stuck there.
Yeah, I know they don't break character because when Green did his DJing at Yucca, I'm like, all right, so what actually happened to Yellow? He's like, he's in jail. And I'm like, but seriously, no, he's in jail. I'm like, what? No, this can't be right. But he won't tell me.
You wouldn't break. Yeah.
That's funny.
It was him and Bradford DJing.
That's cool.
But I figured,
Yeah, Bradford was cool. He watched our set.
well, his face is known to everyone. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the other guys could have watched it. I would know.
I now know what they look like. I still have no fucking clue who they are.
I know who Purple is, but that's it.
Seen her play with. She filled in for Sham 69,
She was in
and then
what was it?
Barbed Wire Dolls,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then that's a whole apparently another controversy. Some people will never watch them again.
I don't
Over.
even think they play anymore, do they?
Did they end?
I know they started another project.
Yeah.
She was at our show at the Viper Room actually on the Girl Gang tour.
Oh,
She showed up. She was like handing out flyers
Wait,
for her new
I thought
band.
so they lived here or they?
They were in
I thought they
LA.
lived in-
They were on LA like 2 years ago or whatever. I don't know where
They're
they
playing
are
a
now.
lot of shows. And
Yeah.
Because I thought they lived in like Greece or something.
I think that's where they're from. But yeah, when we saw her, she's like, yeah, we're living out in LA now. We got a new band.
Oh, so they.
Something.
There was
I think it's
controversy.
called like Royal Distortion or something like that.
The controversy was with
Something.
Svetlana's, and there were white supremacist Nazi assholes at
Yeah,
the
called
show,
them out or whatever.
and then the Barbed Wire Dolls I think still performed
Something like that.
or didn't stand by Svetlana's or
Yeah.
something. And after that, I know some people will not watch them anymore.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's why there's a new band project.
I know that kind of like killed their band. I don't know what they're doing, but I know they had like help from Lemmy too. Like Lemmy's.
Oh, yeah.
not here
Well,
anymore.
they were on his label.
Yeah. Who knows?
When I watched them at Warped Tour, they were on his label.
Yeah.
That was the 1 year I had a photo pass for Warped Tour. Then the year after, I just brought my camera. Partially because I left it under my seat the night before. And just started driving to Warped Tour and was like, oh shit, well, guess this means I'm taking pictures.
Yeah.
Lyman posted last night, any cameras can come in. The universe told me. It was more me, I went to Walmart after and I'm like, I'm going to keep this under my seat. And then
Yeah.
forgot that I put it on my seat.
There you go.
And it's 100 and something and I'm not leaving it in my car.
Yeah.
And I'm not turning around at that point.
Was that the last? When was that?
It was the
last time
20...
it was
God, how many years now? 2017 Warped Tour.
here? I don't think.
That one, I think, Bad... Is that Bad Cop? They now all blend together in my brain. Or wait, so
We went 2016.
2018 was the last national tour. So that was that.
We went.
Whatever Teenage Ballrock played.
That was
Brandon was still alive.
2016.
Brandon was still alive, and we went 1 year.
I think that was 2016?
Maybe.
Because Mass Intruder, I think, was on it.
Don't recall.
That was the year that,
I think we watched Less Than Jake.
no, that was the year that the Vandals jumped on for the Phoenix stop because of, I forget who, not being able to play Sum 41. Because I know that because I had, now names are leaving my brain. There's Cody, there's, like, trying now to remember a name that I can't remember. Brandon's brother. Ray. There we go.
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah, so I was watching the Vandals, and
Like, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
what are we talking about?
Ray? Yeah.
so I was just watching the Vandals set, and all of a sudden I'm hearing someone singing along next to me, and it's Ray. And I'm like, oh fuck, what did you get over here next to me? So that was the same year, and I think that was 2016.
Okay.
And I think Mass Intruder played that year. Speaking of them playing in warm climates. In ski masks.
Yeah. Fuck that. That's crazy. I can't even play with sunglasses on. The sweat like gets in your eye, and you're like, fuck.
Just do some hot yoga. You'll learn all about how to deal with sweat in your eyes.
Are you doing hot yoga, Joe? Or
No, I did once. I did the, God, was it 4-week challenge, 8 weeks challenge? And you're not allowed to wipe it from, you're supposed to keep the position. And only like, oh God. You learn all about how annoying sweat in your eyes is when you can't get rid of it. God, Warped Tour.
That took forever.
Fine.
I think we're not paying attention. I think we're more talking than we're... That's the problem.
Yeah, we're closer though. You're 15,
What are
we're
we?
12.
We're yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're...
Meow, meow.
It's basically those stars, so the more enemies you kill before someone goes into the hole.
Ah, okay. See, that's good to know. How you get points.
And then when you fall asleep is when you run out of those little meter things at the bottom.
What are those?
Those are your turns, so like 3 turns.
Oh.
Then Kirby apparently needs to recuperate.
Oh, that's dumb.
Man, Teenage Battle Rock. That was also, I think that was like the 3rd or 4th time I saw you guys when I was doing that search. It was when you guys played with Teenage Battle Rocket at Pub Rock also.
Yeah, a while back.
Oh, at Pub Rock?
I think that was, Travis was still booking over there.
Was
Back
that
up.
It's the Phoenix.
Andy's Scott Pub bowling thing or whatever?
I think
Oh,
so.
could have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, that was like their headliner.
With the copyright, or
Yeah,
The
copyright.
Queers.
Right?
Wasn't it the Queers?
Yeah.
It's cool.
which they're a controversial band too, I've learned over conversations.
The Queers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least some people have certain stories about Joe Queer.
Yeah.
These guys.
Old school punk.
Guys in drama.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Dickies.
Oh, God.
And Warped Tour, we've circled back.
Guys in drama.
Yeah, bros, get it together with your dramas.
Oh, it's me. Yeah. Actually, because of that story from the Dickies, I found out from Chris Rowe. Oh, fuck. I got zapped.
He's got drama too.
Oh, so, because he was on the tour with them when that happened, so I was like, the next time I saw him, like, so what was your take on it? And he told me his story about the drummer. He told me that full story, and I was like, oh. But I know, man, I know people that will no longer listen to the Dickies after that,
Yeah.
that were present. Yeah, that was the year Warren Women was on Warped Tour too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole fucking shit went down on social media.
Yep.
And I'm like, what's going on?
At least 2 different videos, and
Why are my friends pissed right now? Like, all my friends are posting, like, fuck the Dickies. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, all the bad cop, all of them were, like, going
Yes.
off. I'm like, but they were there. Like,
Yep.
they saw that shit go down.
Damn.
and so did
It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down.
and that's where I have my fun discussions about the human element. Like, I know Eddie Tater and everything. All my interactions with him have never been like,
Oh, it's me. It me. Hold on.
I've never been like, he's an asshole or ever. He's one of the nicest people. And then that went down, and I'm like, fuck. I don't know if I can watch your band anymore.
Damn. Who is this?
Eddie Tater. He's also in Round Line Collective. He sometimes fills in punk rock karaoke in the Dickies.
Which one is he? I know Stan and
The other
Leonard.
guy.
Leonard?
Leonard, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're the one that had the controversy directly.
Yeah.
But reflected on the band entirely. And excuse me. I think you speak? If I say I've learned if you thanks excuse me, there. Thanks to Roy, I've learned don't call a bassist a guitarist. So if he's not the bassist, yeah. But I think he's the bassist.
Okay. Yeah, because Stan's guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's always been super cool and nice. He was the one I was standing outside of Club Red when they had the fucking Nazi get chased out by like 20 punks.
What?
Yes. Yes, that happened.
Huh.
It was a Fatskin show.
Hmm.
So that probably adds more context.
Yeah. Damn.
But Eddie was here with Round Line Collective and ended up talking with him, going outside, and all of a sudden we just see this dude do a salute. And then
Oh, man.
dash, and then like 15 punks.
Fuck.
And then like 2 security dudes after them. And we're like, did we both just see what we just saw?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That was also the conversation that
Wow.
that was also the conversation that Eddie swore he made it to LA in like 2 hours, and I'm like, what?
Dude, where
No.
is our drummer?
In LA.
Yeah.
We didn't mention her.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a
Ca-
drummer, a new drummer.
Yeah.
Which how did
Yes.
that come into being?
The Girl Gang tour. It's kind of like networked that way. And then, I don't know, things kind of happened.
We all just had good chemistry. So.
And that's
She
been
came out here, we jammed, and it just, we were like, oh,
She cool.
she's cool.
She's
Yes. Union 13 also.
Yeah.
She's in Union 13, which we just saw. We got to see her play.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
It's like that's
I
our
was
baby.
that's our drummer.
Yeah.
And it was like, don't let this go to your head, but you're kind of a fucking good drummer. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why you want to be in our band, but like, I'm just gonna be like,
roll with
don't
it.
be in our band. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. She likes us, so we're gonna.
And is willing to do the drive.
she
Right?
takes the bus.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Takes the flex bus.
Wait, so
$30, but she does it.
with drum equipment?
No, so
Oh.
she has a kit.
Yeah, it's at my house.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
kit here, and then
So she just travels with the snare and cymbals.
I was gonna say that's got to be a weird thing, just
No.
like loading on. But hang on, guys.
No, she's got multiple kids, but the green one that's at my house.
Okay. That definitely would make it easier then.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a longer bus ride, though, isn't it? Holy crap.
Like 7 and a half
Yeah.
hours or something. Yeah.
But yeah, she gets on the bus.
Yeah.
Like,
She likes it though. Like she's got like Wi-Fi on. Like
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh, now it's like flying.
Yeah. Yeah. Just on a bus, but.
Wait, it has Wi-Fi. What is it connecting?
I have no idea. It's cheap.
But that's been. Now I'm trying to put time frame into existence. Was it 8 months now?
with her.
Yeah.
Feels like
When did-
longer, but like yeah, it's only.
From everything you
Well,
explained,
we-
I can
we-
I can see why it would feel
We
like
broke
longer.
the scene in February on Valentine's Day. So it's been. It's yeah.
That's a
You
good
broke
way
the
of saying
scene?
it.
Yeah.
We
broke-
gave you guys something to read for a couple days.
Yeah.
No. Oh my god.
The comment section.
I don't know how much I want to go into.
I deleted Facebook. I deleted the app off my phone because
I-
it kept popping up. I'm like, fuck, man.
I thought the human element has changed a lot of my perspective on music. And being friends with past and current members, watching it unfold was just like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
And then I watched 2 or 3 days of their stuff circulate, and you guys kind of kept quiet.
Yeah.
And then I did eventually hit you up because I'm like, this doesn't sound like
Yeah.
Drea.
Yeah.
What I know of Drea, it frames her differently than I know.
See, you did the right thing. You reached out to us.
And I'm like,
You
so.
asked, you just didn't feed
I'm like,
her
I
what
need
you
clarification
yeah.
because this doesn't sound right.
You didn't
And
go
so
into
I
drama
got both,
there.
and I still kind of just kept to myself. But I was just like,
It's like,
it
at
was
the end of
weird
the,
watching
at the end of the
people-
Day, nobody cares. So it's.
but it was weird watching like people divide. Like, this is my best friend. Fuck you guys. This is my best friend. You can go to hell. I'm like, what? Why is this dividing people?
Breaking the fucking scene. It was great.
This is not. I don't think this is the right way to handle this.
But see, but now those people that talk major shit, now they come up to us and they're like, dude, we totally see, like, why now? Like, why you made the decisions you did. And it's like, yeah, like, you could have asked.
You could have asked.
Not fucking make your own.
It's hard though. People
Yeah.
like to feed into drama, and that was like the thing to read. That whole.
My time is better used than dealing with drama.
Yeah.
My energy is better used than dealing with drama.
Exactly.
And to be frank, I think most of the drama that I fucking read on Facebook is fucking dumb shit.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
It's stupid. No.
Nobody cares. Like,
Yeah.
nobody cares.
I know what it's like to get stuck in my head in my own world, but... And actually, that's more why I know some of it's dumb shit.
Yeah.
Disconnect from the emotions that you initially got from it, and maybe look at it from an outside perspective and go, oh, maybe there might be more to this.
Right.
Outside of various cases of various people that don't support their bands, but or they're whatever they are now.
Ghost.
Strangely enough, things have been falling around here this time.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
What happened?
That thing just fell right now.
It fell over?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Out of
big
nowhere.
fucking thing.
I know, it just fucking fell over. And like out of nowhere, like why would it fall?
Like fucking ghost pillow earlier. I'm about to like I don't remember what I was gonna go
So-
into, and it was all boom. Nope, don't talk about that. Huh? That's not scary at all.
That's
Where's
cool.
Angela when we need her?
Right.
Oh man, Angela, she gets really scared.
So
But
bad.
she
She
seems
gets
like
really
the one that
scared.
really wants to go into those topics.
Yeah, like
She
she's
does,
the one that
but-
pursues it. And
But
like,
she does get scared. We all get. I get scared too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's
The only one
creepy.
that's like not. The only one that doesn't get scared is Cat.
cat, yeah.
Miss Kitty. Like she keeps her cool.
I mean, it's creepy when you're like, and I don't even believe. I think I don't believe in that stuff, but I'm just like, that is something that is weird when I see some of this stuff.
Why did that big ass thing
Yeah.
just fall over?
It's
I don't know where. See what else falls into.
Oh gosh.
the pillow. Well,
Yeah.
that was
pillow.
probably related to moving on the couch, but
Yeah, I mean,
We'll say that. Yeah.
see, yeah. But that thing.
But that thing's.
just popped down. God, I
That's
just read the word off it and made it into
That's
the sentence.
cool.
It says chroma pop on it. My brain was like pop.
It's a green screen.
What?
It's a green screen.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, cool. So if we wanted to do green
Hold on,
screen,
bro. Hold on,
Yeah,
hold
we
on.
do that as a service now.
put it behind the couch.
If you want to do like a music video in the
You should
studio.
put me on the couch, and then
Yeah.
we could be like on the beach.
Yeah. Yes. Put like butterflies
You
or
mean
like.
space?
You're like,
Yeah.
then you'd be like, Cassie, we're nearby. Come.
Yeah.
Just find the couch on the beach.
Yeah.
But but that's really cool. And now we're just gonna see the frames of the pillow falling on the feed for the Sound Sisters. You're like, what happened here?
Yeah.
Is it a ghost?
What we're ghosting.
Yeah. Ghost
What
hunting
hit me
here.
and told me to shut up and stop talking.
Yeah, what were we talking about when that dropped to?
I don't remember. We'll have to watch. We'll watch it back.
And then you are working on new music. Is it a full album this year, or is it E EP?
Okay, so I think they're gonna do. They, being Die Laughing, are gonna do a 4-song EP on vinyl.
Uh-huh.
And then we've been working on songs throughout the year. So I would like to do a full length at some point.
Let's see. The last one was an EP,
If
right?
you get that in, I'm gonna...
Oh, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
How could you do that?
I looked over there
Some
and then
bullshit.
it just fell in like that.
Damn. Alright, damn, that's 21. Damn.
I'm now of legal drinking age. I just see the pattern in the corner.
Shit, oh, and people can see the game too.
I'm holding it up. Which actually, back to the... we were distracted. Back to the album, the 4-song EP. Skulldrug does that kind of thing. They've been doing more EPs and singles than full albums anymore.
Yeah.
And
That's how it is nowadays.
That's the route to go.
seems to keep it in modern society's short attention span. It's
Yep.
easier to keep
That's
people
exactly
paying
what it
attention.
is.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But, and I guess it must work then. Well, they also go on the road. They've learned that lesson. They go tour.
They do tour. They're pretty hardworking too.
Yes. And
Skull drag.
they took that. I
so
couldn't believe.
that was a typo, right?
It was a
Or
typo.
okay.
But the flyer was created. I think Ben. I think said it was by them. I assume that means Elvis. But so they fixed it. There was an updated flyer.
Uh-huh.
But then the shirts apparently got pressed with the
skull
typo.
So great.
And they just went with it.
I mean, that's awesome.
I mean, 1/4 of that band already does that, but
Yeah.
everyone else. I feel like Roger just embraced that.
Dude, totally with those shoes.
Yes. And those shoes are the ones that they used, I think, for the Ramones set on Halloween.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Joey wore them though,
Yeah,
and he told me they were
Joey,
super uncomfortable. Because they're like paper mache painted or whatever, markered on shoes.
Yeah.
I don't even know what support is in there. If it's actually a shoe with paper mache or if it's just emptiness. So close.
So close, but so far.
I don't even know what my power up is. I don't even
know how to get to the power up.
Well, now you're near.
Last one, I
flew
flew up to.
I think that's what I have.
Oh, you're right in the hole, dude.
Yeah, you can
Get
get
in
in
the
there.
hole, girl.
Better not fuck it up.
Get in the hole.
Just go to your home.
Yes, we.
That way? Oh.
Let's go to the chat. What should they do? Actually, do we have people chatting, don't we? What do we have?
0.
Happy New Year's, y'all. Hope Venomous Paint comes to Montreal in 2020.
Oh, there you go. You guys got international.
Oh, funny you mentioned that,
Yeah.
Montreal. Should we say it?
There's no takebacks. This is live, so.
We can say we're
going to Montreal. We'll be there in May.
We'll be there in May.
We'll be there in May.
So yes, we'll be there.
I didn't get
You
it.
have to wait till next month to find out why. But
I can't tell how long ago that person asked that.
go find them.
They'll at least have the answer now. If they've kept through all of this. So there you go. You have an international audience, right? That counts.
Yeah.
Canada,
Yeah.
Canada.
Canada. Yeah, we'll be
Canada,
in Montreal in May.
Hey.
May.
Hey.
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 You guys gotta catch up on your Letterkenny. Letterkenny. Oh man, it's a. I want to say it's like a comedic troupe, but it's a show that's. They're the English Canadians, and then they also have their thing with the Quebec Canadians. I know part of the people that write it and star in it are also minor league hockey players, but they have their groups run. The town is called Letterkenny. The actual Canadian title of the show, Letterkenny Problems, so it's a show about the problems around Letterkenny. but it's kind of comedic.
All that work for fucking.
Don't worry, I'm in the water.
God damn it!
So now you have homework. Watch Letterkenny. It's really funny. The first episode I thought was really weird until I realized the style of humor they're doing.
2, 3.
I'm no longer in the water. I'm no longer taking a bath.
I just want to put myself in there, man. I don't want to like.
Hit up.
I don't want to hit hard.
Hit up. Or down. There you go. And then just be quick on the draw. And also aim a little. If you hit down again, there might be a shorter
I'm
one.
wearing Sasquatch socks, dude.
I saw that.
On today. I'll say it's
Going down. Right. Yes. Maybe.
Let's just keep talking about Skull Drag.
Skull drag.
Also, don't ever tell Evan he looks like Fat Mike.
Why'd you learn what happened?
Yeah.
Did you learn that the hard way or what?
No, he just... It annoys him more than anything, I think. Well, because he wears skirts and he wears... There's parallels. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I think it's actually more that people say it too much to him.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you trying to be like Fat Mike?
And now I skip a turn.
Got this, Drea. Get in the hole.
Well, that's...
I don't know
Actually,
how.
we can go off of that tangent. You guys got Soma in the next music video coming up on the 17th?
Yep.
Am I remembering dates right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I just show up to the shows on the right days.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, Joe opened his phone earlier and it was Soma with like her boobs out, and it looked like his phone background.
Yeah.
It was her
And
Instagram.
he goes, well, no, it's on Instagram. This is my phone background. It was Fat Mike.
In a dress.
Yeah.
We met him actually.
I saw that picture too. And he almost looked like he was smiling, which that's the real goal.
Yeah.
Get a picture of Mike
What
smiling.
did he say to us? Like, you guys are cool or something? Like, just some.
He goes, oh yeah, Dennis Pinks. You guys are cool.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all he said.
That's all he said to us.
You
Wait.
guys are cool.
Yeah.
And then Angela was like, can we get a picture? You know.
Yeah.
And it happened really fast.
Yeah. But
It
hey,
happened
you said we
really
were
fast.
cool.
He was like, oh yeah, you guys are cool. And,
But yeah, there was like that little pause, like, oh yeah.
oh yeah, you guys are cool. I'm like, thank you.
So it's just like his enthusiasm for the releases this year.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that's just him.
Actually, funnier story that I can tie back to Days and Days and him is 2 Punk Rock Bowlings ago, Mike and Sean Stern showed up to Punk Rock Karaoke, and Days and Days they played a corner. And they have me roaming back at the same time they leave. I was watching Whitney, also, she had vodka, because I also partook, but, in a water bottle. But I watched her argue with Mike about what is fucking punk and that he's not punk.
Oh shit.
Nice.
So for them to be on that label after that, I'm like, cool.
Huh.
Yeah, she spent a good 5 minutes arguing with Fat Mike about not being punk.
Damn.
Wow.
Both of them were on whatever they were on.
Damn.
But I just thought that was very entertaining to watch.
And now they're.
Yes. And Johnny fucking mixing them from Old Man Markley.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
from Youth Brigade. Is that the right way to put it now?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's so yeah. Soma's in the next music video, and that's gonna be awesome. Really, Joe?
You were sleeping. Yeah.
Every whole Joe.
You had
Every
her.
whole Joe.
That might. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying not to.
Every whole Joe. Did I show you the music video? Let me see.
No, I've only seen what you guys have been posting on social media. And then you guys touched on it in your interview with her. Also. And how.
You have to watch it 4 times to be like,
There's a lot that happens in it, yeah.
How she
I'm
was
even
making
still
sure
watching it.
not to know the limits that you guys had and
Well, yeah, because the night before we went to a sex dungeon with her, and watched her, perform and do her thing, and she like was playing with a very experienced bottom, and there was a bat. It was a little baseball bat. But there was a bat, and at one point it did get used, and
You didn't bring up Beat on the Rat.
no. It did get used, and it kind of was. I think it made everybody a little bit nervous.
Jaws dropped. It sounds like you're like.
Yeah.
Well, it's all of us in this room.
A sex dungeon.
It's a sex dungeon. It's a very large room. All of us are in there. We're sitting on these like fucking random ass steps.
I was sitting on the throne.
There's like a throne in there. This one's over there just sitting there, and I'm sitting at like the bottom. Soma's over here. We have like people in the back, and to our left there's like a couple playing, and it's a dominatrix with a girlfriend, and they're going to town on the dude. Literally, they're like, at one point she takes a mallet and like starts hitting him on his nipples with it, and I was like, you're a man, like you don't need these nipples, like. They were putting clothespins on him, like. So this is happening over here. Me and her like watching this, and over here on the right is Soma, like fucking beating, like punishing her bottom, and like not.
Wait, was that hard hitting with the mallet or just?
Oh yeah, she was like, you're
Oh
a
my
man,
God.
you don't need these nipples, and like.
Holy shit.
You don't make milk out of these, but he was like into it, like he was so into it.
Yeah.
And me and her like, what the fuck? Oh, and they had his cock in a cage. Like, wait. Should I not say that?
That's
No,
your
you're
PR
fine.
rep.
I'm trying to tell you to shut the fuck up.
Oh, you mean if you should have said that in general? I was like, no, I don't censor
His
anyone
cock
on
was
here.
in a cage. She left. She like left me there.
Yeah, I went to get more wine.
I went to go get more. And she left me there.
Shit there.
So it's just me. It's me by myself at one point, and then it's that awkward like, do I stay or should I?
Should I stay or should I go now?
leave? Should like, because if I leave, am I gonna seem like an asshole for not staying? So I stayed. So yeah, that was fun.
Sex dungeon.
That's
Cool.
fun.
Was
That's
she
cool.
like, sorry, these are some things we might do tomorrow in the video?
Oh no.
No, like
She just, I don't know.
She just wanted you
invited
guys to
us, yeah.
experience it and see it.
yeah. So we went out.
She's like, you want to go? I called her that before. I was like, hey, we're in LA. Like, we're here. She's like, wait, you want to go to Sex Dungeon tomorrow? And I was like, yes.
Wait, were you guys in LA for the video shoot or was it
yeah,
for, okay.
so we came in, we
It was
shot
on-
2 music videos that weekend. One was with Soma, and then another song we shot in Cassie's band room and around Watts, because our drummer lives in Watts. But yeah, so
Fun.
she's like, come to the Sex
So
Dungeon.
she already knew you were like,
Yeah.
going to hang
Oh
out
yeah,
when
yeah.
you were there.
So we were purposely there for that.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
Good times.
Good times. Nothing like band bonding.
Yeah.
Sex
It was like
It was like-
bonding. Band
and
bonding.
I'll be honest, like it's not
Bondaging.
like it's
Band
not like the
bondaging.
movies. It's not. It was totally different. Like
It was real. It was real.
It was real.
Ah! There's no cameras allowed. Like they fucking like.
Oh yeah, if you
Super
have your
dark.
phone out, they come up to you right in there.
Yeah.
Like, you put your phone away.
It's like
Oh.
different rooms.
They don't
everyone
take
doing
your
their
phone,
own
but they
thing.
tell you, no.
Put it away. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. People walk. It was.
It was good people watching.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I
was
guess that's why
cool.
you go there. To watch.
Yeah, and it
To
had like a
watch people?
band cover band or something.
Wait, they
Yeah,
had a cover
band
band?
played. Yeah, a band
Playing at the
played at one
fucking
point. Like,
Skull Drag. We got a new show for you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, they would fucking do it. I know it.
yeah, yeah. But they were playing like covers.
Actually, I can tell Evan tonight.
Yeah. I think I played like Poison and like
No.
AC/DC and shit like that.
Actually, speaking of people that stay in character in music videos, Sean from Tartar Control is someone to maybe hit up in the future for music videos. He does some good stuff.
Okay.
And he did a Skull Drug one. I forget which one right now, but he did one of Skull Drug's videos too.
Cool.
I want to say he's in LA. One of them moved. Robert. I think Robert moved to Seattle. Yeah, those dudes also stay in character pretty much as interesting robots with a Mexican-built robot. Oh my god. Yeah. Tartar Control is fun. And they're another band that does a character character of Mormon
Fuck
Missionary.
you.
Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
You really would like Letterkenny. Oh, it's 5. Alright. Well,
Alright.
let everyone know where you guys are playing the next couple weeks, months, whatever you want to tell them live.
Thursday, January 9th, Chopper John's. Come see us. January 25th at Yucca Tap Room with Tsunami Bomb and Death by Stereo.
Toxic Energy.
February 11th at the Marquee Theater with the Addicts. We have tickets for $20. Hit us up. I Want You out on Die Laughing Records comes out January 17th on all streaming platforms. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. We'll be launching it on YouTube. I think it's going to be premiered on maybe New Noise. I don't know. We're figuring that out. And oh shit, I think we're playing in San Diego next weekend. I don't know. Some other
Yeah, we're not.
Go to Instagram.
It's like, where can they keep up with you on the social media?
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram, The Venomous Pinks. Check us out on Facebook, The Venomous Pinks. We post all our show dates out there. We're pretty good about keeping our fans up to date with where we're playing. And
Addicts are also a bucket list photography for me.
is that a hint?
No. If you have a better hookup than I do,
Asking.
then maybe. Last time they only allowed one photographer. And then they had their own tour photographer that they bring with them.
Okay.
So they have different.
Dude, their merch guy died. Remember Jimmy?
Yeah,
Bummed.
I saw that.
Party with him back in the day.
I know.
So cue your song now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
If I was able to queue up music ahead of time, we would have queued up that song.
Yeah.
If you want to party with you guys. Or we could just Brolove too. Hey. Brolove. Oh god, that might happen. We've been trying to get that happen and then stuff happened.
That'd be hilarious.
They want to do a skit and be in character on this show. Which,
with beer bongs.
this place, there is a no alcohol policy here, so we might have to find a different venue for that episode.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm mobile.
And I might have an intern. But I think that's it. Next week, Acne Superstar's on next week. So, excited. His expression was like, wait, does he know them? They're also working, finally, they have new music, a full album coming out this year. I'm excited. Because they took a little break, and I was like, I watched them like, fuck, how do I not own an album of theirs? And they're like, oh, because they don't have an album yet. Okay. But yeah, they'll be on next week. I also thank you, SCR. If you want to support, because I totally forgot about this at the front, and hopefully people remember now. Subscribe either on Twitch, on YouTube, because as those numbers go up, I can maybe make money off of this one day. Or if you're listening on the podcast, subscribe. And support at patreon.com/everyshowjoe. There we go. Because I can't make money on these right now. But you can support and give me money that way. So I think that's now everything. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
And thank you for the first episode of the new year.
Woo.
We're seeing 2020.
Bow, bow, bow.
2020.